So here's the story. So, I got in a car crash the other day, about a week ago. I just feel the need to talk about this car crash. This is going to be a little bit different than my other videos, but this is what happened. I was living in Tennessee, in a little town called Cosby, working for a company called Climbworks. They do zip lines. It was actually a lot of fun. It was cool. I got to interact with a lot of new people and get to try new things, and I had never done a zip line before, so that was awesome. That was a blast. I had a blast. But there happens to be a global pandemic at the moment, and I had a feeling that I should probably go home to be closer to family, to be closer to friends and stuff, just because if there was like a quarantine or some kind of lockdown, I didn't really want to be quarantined in Tennessee. Long story short. And it's a good thing that I did, because borders actually started closing and the whole country is on quarantine now, and I made it out just in time. But I want to talk about a car crash. So as I was driving, I drove from Tennessee all the way to Utah. I took I-70 through Denver, and then down through Moab. And when I was coming across Richfield, something really scary happened. I wasn't to Richfield. I was going through the canyon. There was no reception, and I drove a Honda Fit, the sport version, manual transmission, baby. It's a pretty light car. It's not heavy. And when I was coming around the corner, there was a sudden drop in elevation. It was also hailing at the time. Suddenly my car, which is very light due to the lightness of the car and the sudden drop in elevation as we were going down this steep hill, I started to hydroplane, and I hydroplaned really, really badly. I started skidding to one side, steered into the skid, trying to save it, back end whipped back around, kind of able to save it, and then suddenly as the back end whipped around that one more time, my back tires caught the median, all of the gravel and the dirt in the median, and it threw my car. It just flipped me. You'll see there is no damage to my doors or to the windows at all, but it was only to the roof and to the base. That's because I went from wheels to roof to wheels to roof to wheels. I think it was a double roll. I honestly kind of closed my eyes after the first one. All I know is that I probably should have died, because I had everything with me. Everything. I had my backpack, and it was full. It was full of camera stuff. The cameras that I'm filming on right now. Except for this camera, which happens to be in an L-bracket cage. That was right next to me, loose in the seat. I buckled my backpack up, literally put the seatbelt on it, just 'cause. That probably saved my life. The L-bracket camera, I don't know how it didn't hit me. It should have. It was sitting there in the passenger seat, and the car tipped this way. And if it didn't hit me, at least the camera should have been broken, but it didn't. It was perfect. Nothing happened at all. At all. Not only that, I had about $70 of canned food underneath the dashboard in front of the passenger seat. $70 of canned food that should have fallen right on top of me. Cans were everywhere. They were all around me, and not a single one touched me. And when I landed back, it kind of went like, gush, gush. I literally just unbuckled my seatbelt, unlocked the door, got out, ran up for help. It took a while, and it was kind of scary. There was glass all over the place from the back windshield and from one of the light bulbs in these big fancy lights. But I was fine. What I'm trying to say is, I feel very blessed. Is it sad? Did I love that car? Yes. Yeah. I did. I traveled the world in that car. Honestly. There was a time when I was living in Provo that I was like, why on earth would I pay for an apartment? And so I built a bed into the back of my car and I lived out of it for like 8 months. I made memories in that car, and I'm glad that I did. It was awesome. But here's the thing. I probably should have died in that car crash, considering everything that was around me and the fact that we did a roll, maybe 2, and I came out completely fine, which tells me there's so much more to do in this life, that I am not done. And not only that, but it also tells me that we aren't alone, that you aren't alone, that somebody is actually looking out for you, that somebody cares about you, and they're willing to protect you in ways that you don't understand. And that's amazing. That's beautiful. This is me just trying to say, even if it's the worst news possible, it'll all turn out okay. You're gonna turn out on top. It's all good. I don't think I'm gonna make it through. There was an attempt. I just got in a big car crash and I'm exhausted and my shoulder hurts. But I'm trying my best for you guys. I'm gonna start tomorrow. Oh. But what's important to remember is that even though I was in a car crash and the car rolled and was totaled, it's gonna be okay. Things are turning out better than you can plan, and I'm just hopefully curious to see where this leads. The chiropractor. Let's be honest.